Hi, welcome to Gaze Planet, the show where two boyfriends kiki about all things K-pop. And today we are recapping Island 2 NA episode 9. So this episode opens with finishing up the scoring from the last episode. It doesn't matter because by the end of this episode we're going to get new scores, so there's not even any point in us talking about this. I think the only thing that was notable to me was that there's a moment where Gyuri, Fuko, and Jiyoon all celebrate because they have this redemption moment because they were the three that got pushed to ground.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're all in the top 6. Gyuri, okay? The fire station knows. But really, this is about the main position test. This sorts the girls into dance, vocal, rap, and all-rounder.
They did put visual and dancers into the same category. They put the 3 tall, beautiful girls with the 2 short dancers.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, that became the dance category. Where was the dozen category? Where's the, dozens over here?
Or the slightly.
Jimin, let's go over here. But I wrote down this question. So the producers picked who got to go in what group. Andy, would you want the producers to cast the whole thing, or would you want to do the typical, group decide who goes where and what?
I think the producer thing makes sense if you're building a group, because you're wanting to see which of the 3 dance candidates are the best dancer, which of the 2 this or the best that. And I think that the girls would have just avoided the things that they're uncomfortable with, so we would not have seen the 3 models be in Money.
But we could have seen a world where Jungin is like, I need to show my dance skills finally.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a great dancer.
Okay, I'm just going to list out the groups. Rap is to the song Spicy by CL. I completely forgot about the song, but it's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse Me, Excuse You is so funny to me. If I Were a Boy by Beyonce, my least favorite Beyonce song. That's Jiyoon.
That we know of.
You'd maybe there's a Beyonce song I haven't heard that I hate more. Maybe. That's the vocal choice for Jiyoon and Jungin. Dance is Money by Lisa. That's Jimin, Sabi, Mai, Soojung, and Juwon. And then this was an exciting moment because you're watching it and you're like, what are they going to put Gyuri, Sarang, and Fuko in? Where are they going to go? And then they get put, to me, in the biggest compliment, they get put in the all-rounder category, which means these girls are good enough to do it all.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, that's what everyone should want to be in. And that's what the job is.
And yeah, literally that's what the job is. Everyone else is getting pieces of the job.
Yeah.
Dancers are literally lip-syncing to Lisa. And singers are not doing facials or dancing. So before we get into the performances, there is the interim. This is where the 12-hour countdown clock is actually counting down to this, workout session with Chang Eun-sil, who is a national wrestler, and also the largest Korean woman I've ever seen.
Oh, I loved her.
She's, hot. I was she's, I've just never seen a Korean woman that's that,
thick.
Yeah, her waist is thick, but she's so muscular. She's just, could, tear down a building. I was like, this woman is amazing.
And I love that she's, looks tough, but then in all the, kind of more candid cutaways, she's, smiling and laughing with the girls.
Yeah.
So I was just this is very funny that...
They asked her to be a hard ass, but
yeah.
she's actually, it's really funny.
And we basically just got to see the more beautiful and tall you are, the less athletic you seem to be.
Jimin looks fucking rough. Jimin's kind of dorky when she's not performing.
Oh, yeah.
She's a femme fatale when performing, but she's kind of a dork.
Well, when we were watching it and they were not doing very well, I was thinking of, La Seraphim is supposed to have a very rigorous workout.
Well, the first music video, they're, in a gym. Yeah, that's what, really everyone says. Even Cyndi Lauper, who's 70 and is going on her farewell tour, she's maybe if you're 20, you don't have to work out as a performer, but she's, beyond that, you have to train like an athlete. Which I think is how K-pop trains, with the endless dance rehearsals, but I think...
They don't have core strength,
They need, yeah, and JYP talks about that a lot.
And I don't mean just, core of your body, they don't have fundamental strength.
Yeah.
These girls on
But
this.
I think it's... Somebody in the Reddit said this, that they think having even specifically core strength would be so helpful to Sabi and Jimin because they're tall, just to give them much better control over their bodies.
Yeah.
So hopefully they keep up this habit. And it did look like they are now allowing the girls to go outside because then the next morning they were running outside in a tight, sad circle of cones. So they're in prison.
That's where the sod is the springiest.
I need to see Juwon bench pressing.
The freshly laid sod that they are running on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the first performance is Four Walls with Sarang, Fuko, and Gyuri. Their interim checkup with the trainers is pretty simple. They just think that their emotion is too bright, and they think Sarang is shaky, which she like always is shaky though in the interim. So I really liked this performance, but also they're like my 3 favorites at this point.
People on Reddit thought it was boring, and I think it is one of the most solid performances of the whole show.
Say that.
Not as in, like, it's the most wow, it's just, they work great as a team.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just on a team together.
It's La Vie en Rose minus Jimin.
Yeah. The balance seems great.
Yeah.
But I do think it was, like, 2 daughters, and then their mom is also on stage with them.
Is Fuko the mom?
And Fuko is the mom. Because she's just wearing, like, a frumpy dress. She looks older than both of them.
Well, she's 19.
Yeah. She's 19 and she's on fire.
Yeah, I really liked it. I just thought it was so clean, well performed. I think from an audience standpoint, it's probably the least exciting that they like got to watch that day. But for us, I'm like, I don't know, it just showed me, I was like, they've got it. I was like, each girl's got it.
Yeah,
like,
the most likely to actually be aired on Mnet is what I would characterize it as.
I loved Sarang's styling. Like I loved the whole look on her, the shiny iridescent belt, the hair. And I kind of stopped voting for Sarang for a little bit and swapped her for Koko because I thought in La Vie en Rose she was mugging so hard it was taking me out of the performance. But this, she toned everything down. Like she's still biting her lip and doing like a lot of her things, but she's doing less. She pulled it back.
Yeah.
And that made me I really like that for her. Like, and this is the loosest and most relaxed that she's felt, Sarang.
So next time we watch a performance by her, we have to do a shot every time she winks.
Oh, God. Or Sabi wings? No, we'd be dead. But,
Or Jimin raises her eyebrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ha boy.
Gyuri is my favorite person on the entire show. I think I said that last recording of our podcast, but I'm obsessed. She somehow took the top spot. See, this is what happens. I think a lot of people watch these shows and they're like, episode 1, I like Jiyoon and I'll always vote for Jiyoon. But I think we're like, people can keep surprising us, or I can throw people out that I used to have, and now it's these 3 have kind of become it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also in it for vocals. This is why I like groups, like K-pop groups or Western groups, because I like the different vocal tones, and these 3 girls have unique vocal tones to me, Gyuri, Fuko, and Sarang, so that's why I like the variety. I don't want a group where we all sound the same, or we all sound like the guide track. La Sarah Beb.
And you're like, is she singing, or is the other person singing for her?
Yeah. So then we get on to Spicy with Koko and Yuju. The interim, they slay, and all other groups are shamed in comparison. The practice scenes are all about them having, like, fun and rolling on the floor and just, like, being girls. And then the actual performance, Yuju gets to wear a baggy tee with, like, a leather strap over it.
She has a garbage bag, and then she's wearing a poop bag on her right hand, I think. And then Koko, it just came from the audition from the new Matrix movie.
I wrote down plastic tiara Mortal Kombat drag.
Yeah. Yuju is the trash bag that Koko is, like, taking out to the street.
I just think this show doesn't know what to do with Yuju. And I don't think they care. But, like,
No.
like, Yuju, to me, the shining moment is in Rain on Me when she's, like, curvy and she's riding a motorcycle made of girls and the wind's on her. I was like, oh.
But they're all wearing the same outfit in that.
Yeah.
All of Ground is wearing the same outfit. So I'm like, they won't release her curves until she's 18.
No, they're, like, covering them up so much in this number, so we have this, like, Mortal Kombat plastic tiara Koko.
Who's giving us, like, amazing body lines,
Yes.
and then Yuju's body lines are covered up by her poncho.
Yeah, and Andy kind of pointed out when you were watching that Yuju's, like, often facing forward.
Yeah, she's, like, square with the camera, and then Coco's always turned to the side, making, like, a bow shape, which looks incredible on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, the long ponytail to, like, accentuate her long limbs.
Yes. I mean, Koko, like, to me was completely in the performance. Like, Yuju is good, and she's a little too happy in her delivery. But, like, she's delivering, and Coco's, like, inside the song. Like, she's, like, feeling herself.
I just think this whole show needs to work on their face and conveying the emotions of the song.
They don't always get there.
No.
As we will see in Money with our 5 girls. Okay, the interim.
Felt like sense.
Yeah. Well, the interim, it's, like, it's a dime. It's 10% complete. It's trash. Like, they're like, it's so bad. So then Lee Jung goes over the details with them. Lee Jung tells Mai, if people think that you're just a face, then serve face, mama. And Mai does not.
No.
This, to me, was my, like, least favorite Mai performance, is this Money thing.
She just kind of, like, wanders in from the side.
It sucks because, like, she's not in the... So there's, like, a clique, the tall girls clique is like Sabi, Koko, and Jimin, and Jimin and Sabi go to Koko for help. But Mai is just doing it all on her own. She's not like in that like club. But then the actual performance, I'm like, Mai, I just didn't get it. I'm like, she's like smiling, and I mean, you can smile in a hard performance. Like, I'm sure Lisa smiles in Money, but like, I think that's tricky to figure out where and when and how much. But the Mai, I just don't get it in this performance. I don't. I also hate the song and I hate the styling. So I'm not. Money is like not for me.
I just thought it was certified bad.
Did you think anyone did well?
Juwon was delivering the message of the song.
She twerked and people screamed.
And her face is just like, I'm a bitch. And then Jimin was like, I'm a bitch 60% of the time when I remember, and then I keep flashing a smile while I'm dancing. But like a cheerful smile. Sabi was dancing in her bedroom.
Yeah.
And Soojung.
I think Soojung was good. I don't know why she got a 77. I thought she was like fun.
I know. I just don't think that Soojung looked like she was on the dance competition show and not like she was on an idol show.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, I don't know. It just wasn't that like, she didn't have the je ne sais quoi, as they say in Korea.
I think maybe Soojung, like, she makes it look so easy for her that it's like feels a little too easy. Like, we want to feel that they like really work to get there. But I feel like she's like, oh, it's okay, sure. I learned it in 2 seconds. Got it. I mean, I still liked her. I liked Soojung. I liked Juwon. I liked Jimin. I just thought it was like weird, and like I do think she got a lot better at it. So like, I think she was doing was like cool. I just don't like the song and I hate the styling. So it's hard beyond that.
And I think the camera and staging just tremendously helped them. It went dark with laser lights.
Oh yeah, dark
and
with
fog
lasers. Yeah.
During their hard dance break. That's hiding mistakes. That's
K-pop
helping...
likes to turn the lights off during a dance break, which I never like because I'm like, I can't see.
I know, I think that's the point. Whereas like Fuko and the kids, they're in white on a light background, like you can see everything. And these girls have like a laser pointing around them and fog and the lights turned off and then the audience had bags over their heads. And they actually unplugged our television.
I think about other dance performances we've got to see, like from Girls Planet, we got Salute and we got Ice Cream. And those were so, like, Salute was, like, crazy, cool, and they had to choreograph it themselves. And
Salute
then,
was at 150% before the song started.
Yeah, like, Salute was insane. All the girls got eliminated and kept chiming. And then Ice Cream is, like, this amazing showcase for each and every girl, plus Dion 3 times. Like, it was so fun, and the styling was fun. This, I'm like, okay, so we get one dance break, but it's only Jimin. Jiwon gets to twerk, but only for 1 second. Like, I would have loved way more twerking in this song.
When Sabi's in the center, they just pan to everybody to avoid us having to watch.
And I'm like, where's the money drop from the ceiling? We've seen that in Queen and Puzzle when they drop money. Like, it could be so much more.
I just think that they were doing a big distraction campaign.
And then If I Were a Boy is Jiyoon and Jungin. This is like the most interesting storyline of the episode because they are practicing separately, upstairs and downstairs from each other. I was like, oh, they're fucked. Like when they started doing that, I was like, you can't practice a duet completely separately. This is crazy. And at interim, they don't know the lyrics. Eventually, like, Jiyoon goes to Jungin and they squash the drama. And like, thank God, because it's been going on way too long. And I think it's like ultimately like, it's hard on them both because Jungin got pulled into this drama. Like on this episode when they started practicing separately, and I was looking to Jungin the last few episodes to be the bigger person and squash it, and she wasn't. I was like, this is actually just making Jungin look as bad as Jiyoon. Like to me, it's pulling Jungin down. Before I was like, oh, in the part 1, I was like, Jiyoon is like a grumpy lump. She's like such a bad attitude, and Jungin was just like doing her job. But now that when I got this far, I was like, okay, Jungin is also just like not stepping up. I don't know. It just made them both look bad. I don't know. I think part 2 is giving Jiyoon such a good storyline, and Jungin is like totally left behind by the show.
She's left for dead.
The performance, like, again, I hate this song. I think there's one moment where Jiyoon, on the word, like, near the end of the song on the word care, she, like, is a little flat on the note. But then what I like about Jiyoon's performance is that she's so in it. Like, she moves on immediately and just does, like, a vocal run. And then she adds her own lyric because she says, like, yeah. Like, she's so in the song that's what I really like. Jungin, to me, is just performing the song. It's good. I don't like how early she's cutting her words off.
She's always looking down.
She doesn't do a good vocal run later. Like, I think it's just kind of... To me, Jiyoon's doing, like, an A+, and Jungin's doing, like, an A-. Also, this is the best that Jiyoon has looked.
Oh yeah, she looks great.
She looks amazing.
They both have the boniest shoulders of anyone I've ever seen.
They're so skinny.
The battle of the bones.
But I like that they were actually singing. They weren't doing facials. They weren't mugging. They weren't doing choreography. They were just holding their diaphragms to make sure they could, like, get the notes. Like, I like that they were just singing. It's nice.
Yeah, so two of the groups got to just do half of being an idol, which the other groups rise to the top.
Those are the two performances I liked, too, is Four Walls and Spicy. The final part of the episode is scoring. I wrote down them all, but I kind of wrote down, I wanted to look at what the biggest disparities are between how people voted in the audience and what the producer's score was. So Fuko, Gyuri, and Sarang get 4, 5, and 6. Fuko gets a 96 from the audience, which is the third highest audience score, and then she gets an 82, so a 14-point difference from the producers. I get because the audience has never seen Fuko before, so she's completely fresh, but the producers have seen her probably do the same things, and now they're getting bored, and they, like, want growth, and they're not seeing it, so I can see where they're gonna, like, dock her, but the audience has never seen her, and they're just like, she's great.
Yeah, I think that the producers are just using a different rubric than what the people on Reddit and what the people in the audience are using. They're like, who's the most eye-catching, and then the producers are like, is this girl growing? Is she doing what we're asking her to do?
Yeah.
How about you switch to girls?
Switch 2 girls.
Yeah. You don't have to switch them with each other. You can just make the group numbers different.
I put Sarang in vocal, because I want to see it, because I know that she has it. And then I'd probably just put, like, Sujung in rap or something, like...
I would put Sarang in rap, and I would put Sabi in Four Walls.
You would put Sarang in rap?
I want to see it. She's done everything else.
And Sabi in Four Walls is an all-rounder. Yeah, that'd be good for Sabi, actually, because, like, we've heard her singing a lot, and her singing is good, but I'd like to hear more.
And I would put Mai in as hair and makeup for the girls.
So the very last plotline that we see is Sabi boo-hooing that she dropped to 7th place, and she's getting comforted by her tall girl clique. I mean, the show is getting more heavy-handed as we go on with editing, which is fine. I expect it. But I wish that there would have been more... I guess we get to see, like, Gyuri celebrate with Fuko and Jiyoon of, like, them being in the top 6. So we do see that, but I'm like, the fact that Gyuri last episode is like, yeah, I'm 12th, no big deal, I knew I would be 12th, goes from 12 to 6 to 5.
She's in the debut group currently.
Yeah, like, I'm like, that's such a huge jump from, like, somebody that I think we all wrote off, didn't think was even going to be in part 2. I'm like, can we get a moment more? But I'm also biased, she's my favorite, so... But I didn't need the Sabi boo-hoo. I was like, there's so many girls you could feature. I'm sure all the girls... I'm sure Jungwon's crying. I'm sure Sujung's crying.
Jungwon was gone from 1st to 11th.
Yeah, like, fuck. And Sujung, what did Sujung say?
We're not being evaluated on our skills.
Yeah, she's pissed. Has your opinion changed? There was a good thread on Reddit, besides the thread where they make everyone blonde, which you need to see that. It's incredible.
Ooh.
But there's a different thread on Reddit that's like, how has your opinion changed? Has your opinion been changing on people? And I think that was really interesting. I think people were really honest. So has your opinion changed on anybody majorly?
I think at the end of part 1, I was like, Sabi's amazing. And now I think part 2, as these girls are getting bigger parts, she's less amazing. I think part 2 is just showing so many people's weaknesses. But I think it's like the people that were Goliaths at the end of part 1 are just kind of like not that impressive in part 2. And the people that were unknown in part 1, like Gyuri and Koko, are like blossoming in part 2.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting on the Reddit, people were saying a lot of them have fallen off with Fuko. They're like, oh, I loved Fuko in Bad Boy, and I love when she was a leader, and now I don't care anymore. And I'm the opposite, where, like, I don't care when people are good leaders on this show. I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't. As a middle schooler, when we were all told we all had to be leaders, it's just like,
yeah.
I do not care about leaders. But Fuko in I Will Always Love You, she was such a good, whatever the fuck that actress, protagonist, like, and I like that she's more subtle in her facials. She never really mugs. She does a lot of things, but it's softer. And then this half of the show where it's like, oh, wow. Like, we saw her sing in the first half, but we're seeing her sing more. We're seeing her hit high notes. She has a unique tone. So now I'm like, now I want her because she just seems like such a unique entity. So different from everyone else.
I think if producers were making this group, there is no way that she would not get in. Because she is the mortar holding it together.
Yeah.
Every team that she's on does
she's
well.
She's like the cornerstone.
Yeah. She's like the springboard for other people to jump off of.
Yeah.
Because she's like holding people up and holding the groups she's in together.
Well, I'm sure as her partner, you're like, okay, Fuko's got it, so I can relax. Like,
Which I think that's what the judges are slightly frustrated with her about. Because they're like, you need to be stepping forward and showing more. Because she's not biting her lip, she's not winking, she's not doing those things. She's just like, I'm going to embody the song with my normal face in my white dress.
So that's our recap. That's our episode. You can follow us on social, on Instagram at Gays Planet Pod. And that's what we got for you next week. Eliminations, apparently. Say goodbye to Ju1.
By some sort of insane algorithm, geometry.
I don't know what my votes mean.
We're going to divide N by alpha, and then that will tell us which girl goes home.
Bye, Suja.
If you're short, pack your bags.
And bye, listeners. Short and tall.
Send us your meta balls.
Fighting.
Love is for